No, you don't need it, do you? Hey, here we are, April 1st. It's April Fool's Day. Beware out there. There might be some people trying to, today. April 1st, 2016, Sean Cross in Remsen, happy birthday. Jennifer Jenny in Clinton, celebrating today. And Kayla Ross in Utica, happy birthday. Sean Cross, Jennifer Jenny, Kayla Ross. The cake goes to Sean Cross here on April Fool's Day. No joke here.
Well, I don't yeah.
Sean Cross will get the cake from the Florentine Pastry Shop on Bleecker Street in Utica. Get a birthday on. You can also join our VIP club by going to our website at WIBX950.com or send it a postcard. WIBX Birthdays, 9418 River Road, Marcy, 13403. Before we go to, we're going to talk about this minimum wage thing. Assemblyman Marc Butler is on the line now. I want to talk about Maria Kelso, who we just had. I made the reference. Don't hold it against her because we all read from notes from time to time. It did seem like she had paragraphs that she was reading from, and you... and there's going to have to come a time where you gotta speak off the cuff and not from your notes. That's why I'd like to get her in studio, because we wouldn't let her speak off notes. I guess if she wanted to, we'd have to let her. But
in fairness, I will say, she's not be that well versed, so maybe she was taking a look at some notes, and but as she was rattling off the things that were important to her.
Well, if she's an assembly aide, she probably knows as much about.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
But
it was just funny because Manaske was holding up cards as to what issues
was going to come next. Because it was going off her platform.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Word for word.
Yeah. So, but maybe she's new to the game and she's not familiar. Maybe she was a little on edge, so she prepared something. Maybe that's what it was.
Next time she needs to prepare a pick on the Syracuse game. I mean, this is very big. This is very, very big this weekend. You got to make that pick.
Can we make a prediction?
That was a curveball, though, Bill.
I threw a curveball.
No notes on that.
I have no answer.
Prediction.
Your answer is easy. Syracuse. It's playing North Carolina. That's an easy one. I think Syracuse is going to win, men and women.
No matter what.
No matter what.
Right.
That's your
prediction.
answer.
I think it's going to be Duke.
If Claudia Tenney decides that she is going to run for the 101st after all, Miss Kelso, I believe, will step aside.
Oh, there's another Christine with the predictions, knocking them out of the park potentially.
Well, we don't know until it actually happens.
Here's Assemblyman Marc Butler, who's on the line right now. And are you still there, or did you get to come home after midnight?
No, actually, we went until very early this morning. They wrapped up about 4:45. Actually, we're going back in.
Wow.
About 9:30. We have a substantial amount of work to do, and I would say at this point, and by the way, I'm not working from notes. This is off the top of my addled brain after about 2 hours of sleep. But I would say this is a historic budget by virtue of the fact we're doing it the way they did it 20 years ago. All of these efforts to bring it out in the open, do this in the public, let the people know what we're doing, that all went by the wayside. This was the worst budget process we've been involved in since I've been in Albany.
I had heard you didn't have...
Horrendous.
You had no... Yeah.
Well, we, the Republican minority, it was our task to debate some of these bills, and we had minimal information about them. We were given, these lists of the things that were in the budget.
Yeah.
Some were taken out, and then they said, but they'll reappear in another budget later. So, we're perplexed. Are they in? Are they out? A perfect example is the... paid family leave. Now, it was taken out of one of the budget bills we took yesterday, but there was another part of the budget that had a $10 million set aside for the administration of the SAFE Act. So if you vote yes, you're voting for the $10 million set aside. So are you voting yes for paid family leave? Many of us have some real strong concerns about how that's going to affect our upstate businesses.
And they say the family leave situation is you would be able to take up to 12 weeks, and you'd get up to half of your pay, and this is going to be paid for solely on the employee. Out of our paychecks will come 70 cents a week.
There would be a contribution from the employee. Yeah. But we were led to believe yesterday that may not necessarily be the case. We got a $10 billion or $10 million dollar item there, and I guess the question is, what is that money there for? It's pretty expensive administration.
By the way, can I just throw a left hook here? Syracuse or North Carolina this weekend?
Well, I got to say Syracuse.
Okay,
this has been incredible, this run they're on.
Isn't it unbelievable?
Really been excited about it. I didn't watch much during the regular season, but they're a different team now, and to see some of those younger kids step up. They had Layden and Michael Richardson there. They've been lights out. They're a fun team to watch.
Incredible! I can't wait for tomorrow night.
Yeah.
On the family leave, I understand it would, well, at least what was talked about was that 70 cents a week would come from the employer, but I could see a cost for the business because if someone's out for 12 weeks, you're probably going to have to replace them, at least on a part-time basis, right?
Well, again, as a minority, it's our job to kind of pick these things apart. What if you run an accounting firm and somebody needs to go out right in the middle of the tax season when you're at your busiest? And you can think of dozens of examples like that. It's a mandate, and we get up on the floor every day. We're in Albany, and everybody screams about mandates. But here's yet another mandate on business.
Well, what is supposed
the minimum wage will be a minimum wage. Will be a mandate on business.
I want to get into the minimum wage in a second. But what is supposed to happen? Correct me if I'm wrong. Is the 70 cents comes out of every employee per week. So the employee makes the contribution, and then, like with unemployment, they don't talk about anything. With unemployment, the employee makes a contribution, and the employer makes a contribution. They're not talking about that here. They're saying it's just the employee, which would mean that salary from Bob, who's the accountant, would go away, and they'd be able to use his salary to bring in somebody in the interim. Now, that's what is being proposed, but you're saying you don't even know, right?
Well, to get back to my point, that issue came up very prominently in the debate yesterday, and they could not provide an answer. In fact, Ms. Denny Farrell, the chairman of Majority Ways and Means, said that was incorrect, that it was an employee. Now, he may have misspoke. I guess when you get to be 2 or 3 in the morning after you've been on your feet all day, sometimes things get a little blurred, but again, here it is. We're hours away from finishing this budget, and we don't even know for certain basic details like that. It's just incredible the way this is being thrown at us.
And then the unemployment or the minimum wage, which is starting out here at New York City by 2018, they're going to hit $15. But upstate, we're not going to hit $15. It'll be $12.50. In 2022, and then they're saying, based on the economics of everything, based on cost of living, it will make its way to $15. What does all of that mean?
Again, that is something we didn't get a straight answer about. It was interesting in the revenue bill that we got last night. There was a tax credit that would be provided to farmers. A very minimal tax credit, but at least we got some attention to that. But it will in no way, make up to our agricultural industry what it's going to cost them. And as you know, for the dairy industry, the prices for their product, the milk, are set by the federal government, and they have a formula. They have no control over the revenue side of their business. So it's going to be a train wreck, and I think for the upstate economy, the minimum wage is bad enough, but when you compound it with the paid family leave act, I think we're creating the situation for an economic disaster.
And right now, the governor's saying right now there's going to be biggest numbers for education, all touting the fact that education is going to get taken care of. Your thoughts on what they're proposing?
Well, again, we didn't get any clear numbers last night. That is my understanding. And that was another interesting aspect of the debate yesterday when we started pressing for details. Mr. Farrell said, well, why don't you read the newspapers? They seem to know what's going on. And yet, how tragic is that? We as legislators have to look at the media for answers to our questions. But it's my understanding GEA will be eliminated, which I think will make a lot of our schools happy. That's a gimmick that takes away school aid that's been given, and that there is a substantial increase for school aid. So I believe there will be good news there.
And one other issue is the fact that there's supposed to be a middle class tax break coming.
Yes, that was included in the revenue bill that we passed yesterday. But even that, I think the governor's oversold that a little bit.
I agree.
I think that,
based on what I read.
Yeah.
I think that was already scheduled to go into place, and it's a yes, it's a tax break, and any break we can give people, but it's phased in over a long period of time, and I don't think people are going to see that big of an impact on their taxes with that.
All right, well, listen, get some sleep, and then back in you go. See if we can get this thing done today.
I expect we'll be done by late afternoon.
Okay, Marc Butler, we appreciate your time. Thanks so much.
All right, guys. Thanks for the call. Bye.
Okay, go Cuse. We'll break. Speaking of Cuse, Cuse-Done, those T-shirts that are available on our website at WIBX950.com, or you can buy them right through CNYmerch.com, M-E-R-C-H. The deal is a 5-year-old girl from Newport came up with the slogan, Houston, here we come. So the shirt says it's orange, and the shirt says, Houston, here we come. Go Syracuse, April 2016. A portion of the proceeds go to the charity of Kylie's Choice, and we're going to find out which charity that is coming up after 8 o'clock. But I have to tell you, we heard from CNY Merch, and they've told us that they're almost sold out, but there are some T-shirts still available. So if you want to get them before they're sold out, you could do so right now. And remember, you're giving to charity as well when you buy these shirts. Pretty nice. Hold tight. Brad Davies is coming up next. Brad, who used to work here, we worked together for a long time. Brad is living and has been living in Houston, which is where the Final Four is. Pretty excited that Cuse will be in Houston this weekend. We'll talk to Brad coming up. Christine with an update now, 746 to WIBX.